Welcome, everyone. We are live captioning our meetings. Please look in the chat window of the WebEx meeting where you'll find a link. Please click on that link to open a web page with the live captioning. Before I actually really officially call it to order, I would like to welcome a couple of new folks to the team that are here, starting with Dr. Jess Evans. She is our new Chief Information Officer. Jess? She's on the phone. Okay, well.
On video. Hi, everybody.
She is, okay. And then Mr. Blair Barfus, our new Chief of Police. Is the chief here? Apparently not. Well, they are with us and they're new members of the team, so welcome. I would like to now call to order the regular board meeting of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board on November 26, 2024. And for the record, I will call a roll call vote of the board members. Ms. Jackson Long.
Present.
Ms. Butler.
Present.
Ms. Davis.
Present.
Dr. Narini.
Present.
Ms. Smith.
Julie present.
Ms. Sullivan.
Present.
Dr. Thor. Thank you. And myself. So for the record, all board members are present either here or virtually. We want to move on to the Pledge of Allegiance, and to lead us in the pledge are the Paradise Valley Community College Student Life Group. If they would move forward and lead us in the pledge, and then once we get to your report, we're going to ask you to introduce yourselves. So with that, we will stand and let you start. Is it on? Nope.
Is there a button
Button?
It's, you see a button?
that says push in front of it?
I see some very highly talented tech.
There we go.
There, all right.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. To our next part here. If you just stay briefly at the podium for a quick announcement, and then we're going to proceed with your report. We have two substitutions, and presuming these are still correct, we have Lorelei Konapak for Dr. Tiffany Hernandez and Mum Martins for Dr. Georgetta Kelly. So now with that announcement, let me turn and ask for you to introduce yourself and then proceed with the presentation.
Thank you. Good evening, all. President Bittersmith and members of the board, Chancellor Gonzalez and CEC representatives, college presidents, and our friends within MCCD and the community. My name is Alana Churko, and I am the president for Paradise Valley Community College's student government. PVCC proves itself proud each year through its active student contributions to college culture, and this year marks no exception to that pride. Tonight, you will learn about our student-led efforts to foster our community on campus, educate our peers, and serve the community. First, I'd like to introduce Gabby Begay, Vice President of Student Government, to share some of the student-led activities on campus. Gabby is an active member of our honors program. She works in the PVCC Veterans Office, and she is also active in Student Public Policy Forum and in DECA. Next slide, please.
Good evening. One of our signature events created by students for students is our annual Halloween party. This activity was created in 2022 to build community after the pandemic. Nearly all of PV's active club participated this year, and this year's events featured a costume contest, pumpkin carving, and karaoke. Another event where students have led is the monthly produce distribution. Held on the very first Thursday of every month, PVCC's event serves over 200 families per event. Students are responsible for sorting and staging the produce, working on the food service line, and breaking down the event once it ends. Every month, in between 15 and 20 students donate several hours of their time. Both of these events highlight the passion our students have for our community and the importance of belonging on our college campus. I would like to introduce my colleague Faith, who also works at the Veterans Office. She is a student public policy foreign veteran and is a recipient of the Chancellor's Medallion. Next slide.
Good evening, members of the governing board. My name is Faith Yinyoy, and as a student at Paradise Valley Community College, it's been inspiring to see how our campus comes together on Veterans Day to honor those who have served. This year, with the help of the Veterans Club, we organized a powerful field of flags display, and the marketing department hosted an interview panel where veterans shared their stories, creating a deeply personal connection with students like me. We also supported the MVET donation drive, allowing us to directly contribute to local veterans organizations. The Veterans Services Office organized a free barbecue that served over 200 students, fostering a warm and welcoming space on campus. Many students volunteered at the event, showing just how much we value our veteran community. These activities helped build a sense of respect and connection between the veterans and the students. It was truly moving to hear one veteran express that they felt genuinely appreciated by our campus. I'm proud to be part of a college that values veterans, and I look forward to seeing these efforts continue to grow. Thank you for supporting these initiatives. At this time, please welcome Kiwi Tori. Next slide, please.
Good evening. My name is Kiwi Torre, president of PVCC's Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. As part of our effort to educate the whole person, Alpha Omicron Chi, PVCC's Phi Theta Kappa chapter, hosted an Adulting 101 skills fair from November 4th through 7th, led by members of the college and the community. Topics included cooking easy recipes, mastering household chores, and financial literacy. The most popular workshop was Diagnosing Your Car. Co-sponsored with PVCC STEAM Club, a certified mechanic was brought to PV to teach students everything from when and how to change fluids to understanding the noises your vehicle makes. These workshops were very well received, and we hope to continue this series during the spring semester. Being a 5-star chapter, PTK is excited to continue bringing the community together as we have plans to partner up with small businesses such as local car washes, food patrons, and independent business owners. We are anticipating continuing this trend into the next school year. Next slide, please.
As student leaders, we have been working hard to cultivate a campus which takes care of its students and serves its community. The culture at PVCC has not only allowed us to take a leadership role in this endeavor, it has encouraged us to do so. We were asked to participate in the recent Higher Learning Commission accreditation visit, and the student session was standing room only. This is proof that our students are more active and engaged in their campus affairs than ever before. As student representatives, the following suggestions have been made about how to improve the student experience. 1. A higher volume of in-person and evening classes. 2. Provide more support for returning adult students, including resources such as childcare. 3. Offer more paid internships within community partners for mentoring opportunities in their career field. In regards to student government's initiatives for the spring semester, we plan on introducing field of interest focused study groups, which will make it easier for students to make academic and personal connections. This will encourage students to broaden their understanding of their chosen degree paths and to participate in our campus community. On behalf of all student leaders at PVCC, I'd like to thank you all for your time and wish you a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Yes. Nicely done. Now that they've sat down, are there any questions for these young ladies? Seeing none, great job. Thank you very much for being here. So, okay. Before we move on, I would like to just acknowledge Dr. Britt and her team for moving very quickly to accommodate us tonight. It was a sort of a last minute move due to technical difficulties at Rio. So thank you for your team getting us space and all of the equipment to make this meeting happen. All right, we're moving on now to the Faculty Executive Council report. Dr. Ramona Gott. Welcome.
Madam President, members of the board, Chancellor, CEC, colleagues, honored students, and guests. Thursday is Thanksgiving, a day we celebrate unity, resilience, and appreciation. It is therefore fitting that tonight I share with you what faculty leaders are grateful for. Chandler Gilbert Community College FSP Greg Jakin is grateful to be a member of a college where the people are motivated by the relationships, not just the task, where displays of personal sacrifice are real and reflected. In story after story by students who always lead with, "This place changed the course of my life." Australia Mountains Community College Faculty Senate President Dwayne Desbian and President-elect Alan Reyes are thankful for the stability of leadership we seem to have after a period of continuous change, as well as the patience and understanding of the EMCC community as we implement a new shared governance approach. They're also thankful for the support that faculty and staff show to our students and to each other. Glendale Community College's Senate President Karina Sokol Tinsley is grateful that students have a place to come and change their lives. They become open to new possibilities and get encouragement to rethink what their futures could look like. They have a safe place to explore who they are and what differences they can make in our world. I am grateful for colleagues that share the same goals as I have and are willing to go above and beyond to help students succeed. Faculty Senate President Herb Wildy and President-elect Dominique Doss have found much to be thankful about Gateway Community College. To our Gateway Community College leadership, we are grateful for your commitment and dedication to your work. To our Gateway colleagues of faculty and staff, you each individually foster a sense of belonging and a connection to the students and extend that same grace to each other. Thank you for being inspiring, adaptable, innovative, and spirited. And finally, we are grateful to our students. Thank you for your presence, commitment to self-improvement, and hard work. Paulette Stevenson, Mesa Community College Faculty Senate President-elect, is thankful to work with thoughtful and engaged faculty and staff colleagues. Paulette says, despite the challenges Mesa faces as an institution, I've been heartened to see everyone roll up their sleeves and show up every day with joy and purpose to fulfill the mission of serving our community and our students. Phoenix College's Faculty Senate President Pam Duty is thankful for inclusive leadership. I'm thankful for a college leadership team who truly lives shared governance, not only on paper but in practice. Shared governance has become woven throughout the Phoenix College culture. Shared governance is not an exception to our practice, it is our practice. And David Ruby, FSP from Paradise Valley Community College, is grateful to have administrators and staff who are focused on working with faculty to provide an effective and inclusive learning environment, and for a governing board and district administration that supports us in our missions to educate and serve our students. Rio Salado FSP Karen Doherty is thankful for engaged, creative, and innovative colleagues around the district who tirelessly work to advance student success in its many flavors, whether that means completing one course, attaining a credential, transferring to a university, or gaining a new skill. And Faculty Senate President Sean Mitchell is thankful for Scottsdale Community College's Community of Care, where they recognize and honor the individual strengths each person brings to a campus community. We also want to express how thankful we are to the Salt River Pima Indian community on whose lands we are guests. Senate President-elect Carol Smith from South Mountain expresses her thanks this way. This Thanksgiving, I am grateful to stand next to colleagues who seek to build each other up, who believe in each other, recognizing all members of our campus community as important and essential. I'm thankful for those who seek to make our college the best it can possibly be. Ultimately, I'm thankful to be in a profession that truly seeks to make a difference each and every day. And finally, I am grateful for the administrators and governing board members who in challenging times work diligently to stabilize the institution and to ensure that MCCD continues to promote excellence. Most importantly, I appreciate that they uphold academic freedom and support shared governance. John F. Kennedy said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." MCCCD witnessed the fullness of faculty appreciation when faculty mobilized to ensure the passage of Prop 486. It was out of gratitude that faculty reached out to family and friends, decorated their cars, and canvassed their neighborhoods. It was out of gratitude that faculty used their social media platforms to promote 486 to the community at large. It was gratitude that prompted the 791 members of the Faculty Association to donate their sizable issue advocacy fund to support the efforts of Elevate Maricopa. Today and in the future, the faculty of Maricopa Community College District continue to stand united and committed to fulfilling MCCD's mission to ignite talent, transform lives, and enrich communities through teaching, learning, and service. And we're grateful for the chance to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramona. And again, thank you to your members for all the issues you just mentioned. Moving on to the faculty, adjunct faculty association report, Kim Bosch. Kim?
Good evening. Good evening, President Bittersmith, our esteemed governing board members, Chancellor Gonzalez, members of CEC, and other guests. I have a guest with me tonight who will be joining me for part of my presentation. I want to start with saying what a privilege it is for me in working with such a wide range of representatives at all the colleges. Our adjunct faculty encompass a wide range of talent and knowledge, and it brings much to the district through the depth and breadth of their experience and the range of knowledge, and how that benefits our students with much real-world experience. Our adjunct faculty reps also impact their colleges in unique ways through the projects that they take on. So I'm happy to share with you tonight the ongoing work of one of our adjunct faculty representatives, Mo Zaru of Gateway Community College. And Mo has been gathering and analyzing data that pertains to the adjunct experience in the district, as well as impacting other employee groups and the district itself. He's been sharing it with the VPAAs and with others, but we wanted to bring this to this meeting so that you could see a little bit of his work. I know we've shared it with you with the district or with the slide deck, but also see how that we can utilize this data as we work to build stronger relationships and more shared governance opportunities. So I'm including, or I would actually like to share, give Mo some time to share now and give some highlights of the work that he's been doing.
Thank you, Kim. And this is really, I think it goes beyond the purpose of understanding adjunct faculty, and it's also the contribution of the team, not just myself, in producing this data. And really what we wanted to do is how do we better measure and understand faculty input and usage, and not just adjunct, but also residential. And we looked at data to help us understand and answer some key questions. Data about attrition. Why has attrition increased? And we looked at data pre-pandemic to current. And why has attrition increased for some colleges more than others? We also looked at tenure distribution, hiring practices. We looked at class loads, why in some colleges like South Mountain have 60% of their faculty only teaching one course, while other colleges, over 60% of their adjunct faculty are teaching more than one course, two or more. And we looked at other data sets or data elements like what percentage of our faculty, adjunct faculty, are teaching across colleges. So they're teaching in multiple colleges. So the number of faculty has declined, and we're seeing enrollment has increased. Class sizes have also increased. So this is really just the beginning of what we can do with the data. And it's not just looking at adjunct or faculty, but looking at also student data. So this deck that we shared with you is sourced from our Human Capital Management, HCM, our employee database. It's not sourced from our Student Information System database, SIS. So we're in the process of gathering more data sources and other potential data sources to help us understand some of our challenges and opportunities to really build a district-wide initiative and not just work in silo across the colleges. Like I said, it's a lot of data, but this is just the beginning, and we welcome you to ask questions about the data and what we can do better. And in this age of advanced analytics and AI, I think there's a tremendous opportunity to understand our data assets to help us improve the success of students, whether it's about Canvas data, whether it's about student data, retention and success, or how we operate in general, and learn from each other across the colleges. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any immediate questions? We'll look forward to reviewing that, Kim.
I think we've got the deck up if anybody would like to take a brief look, but it is available for people to review. And we do hope that people will understand, or that anybody that has a question will contact us, but also that you would be willing to use the data or incorporate it into future decision-making, and also give us questions should you like us to explore other issues. So we hope to share this with other council members, with different committees, and help the college or colleges and the district as a whole with what we're doing here. So I appreciate you giving Mo the time tonight to share a bit of information. And beyond that, if there's any other questions, we are happy to share.
Ms. Davis?
I did look at your study, as you know, and I found it very interesting and very enlightening. I'm really glad that we're collecting this data to figure out, to see the trends and what's going on, and then to make plans for what the colleges can do. I thought it was a really good job, so thank you for taking the time to do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, we will look forward to reviewing it in more detail. And Ms. Davis may be able to guide us through some of that too, so.
Well, thank you.
Good.
And if you have any questions, again, I'm happy to relay them back to my group, relay them to Mo, and to incorporate more issues into our studies. Beyond that, I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Hope it's a peaceful weekend for all, and we will see you next month.
Thank you. And we appreciate both of you. Thank you. Last but not least, the staff representation report. April Rowland and Jason Rich. Welcome.
Good evening, President Bittersmith, Governing Board members, Chancellor Gonzalez, CEC, and guests. I am April Rowland. I'm one of the co-presidents for staff representation. Next slide, please. This is a season of appreciation. The voters have passed Proposition 486, as we all know, allowing the district to raise the expenditure limit and the continued growth of shared governance across the district and each campus.
We also want to say we really appreciate all of the employees that make this system work to support the over 100,000 students that we have at this point. And that's really all we wanted to share this month. This is our appreciation for everything. And we're going to introduce our reps. Next slide, please.
Hello, I want to go ahead and start by introducing myself. My name is Whitley Abrams. I am part of staff representation as a co-senator with Georgianne Stoll. As you may have noticed, we're the only co-senators at Paradise Valley, along with the other 10 colleges, because, you know, we're awesome that way. And because we're super extra special. I work as a library specialist at the library at Paradise Valley, Buxton Library. I know Mary Sullivan was there last week, so hi. I was there working that day, and we had an awesome time at the Mosaic event we had there. I want to also introduce one of our exempt members. And by the way, I didn't mention this, but me and Georgianne are non-exempt. We have Brenna Stein. She is our exempt representative. So we're three, we're mighty, we're awesome, but we're small, so it's all good. I also want to introduce our officer too, Sergeant David Pubens, and he's a pretty awesome guy himself. So, yay.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Next
Marie, you
slide.
already had a pre-introduction, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, so now we're going to talk a little bit about HLC, which honestly, it was kind of my first time dealing with HLC. Never been to it in any way possible. And as a staff representative, when I was sitting there in the chairs talking about shared governance and staff representation and how it looks for our college, I managed to speak well enough to where I think they thought it was okay. I met the members, that they are really pretty cool people, the HLC committee. And it was a really interesting and great experience, part of like that growth that you would find. And it was incredibly exciting to be part of it, because it wasn't just, faculty, Senate and everything. It was us too. And I felt like we were all together. So that was part of what shared governance is all about, right? So do you maybe have something or? Sure.
I was just going to say, like the student panel for HLC, our employee session was also standing room only. So you can tell as a campus, we are incredibly engaged with both students, faculty, and staff. And we were really glad to see that much participation. The reviewers really left us feeling like, according to the slide, we were the total package. And so that felt really good for everybody that had put at least 2, if not 3 years of really dedicated work into the putting together not only the site visit, but the argument as well.
And that should be pretty much it. We really appreciate taking the time to listen to us and, being part of the board members and with everything that is Maricopa. We really appreciate you guys. We appreciate everything in our college. We appreciate President Dr. Schwartz. A little shout out. And, thank you. Happy, Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you to the whole team.
On behalf of myself and Jason and all the staff representation, we wanted to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, April. All right. We also this evening have 2 recipients, Emeriti recipients. They happen to be both from Mesa Community College, so I'm seeing Dr. Daniel move towards the microphone. Are your recipients here, Dr. Daniel? Wonderful. Okay. So let's start with Miss Brenda Nielsen Morse, and I will turn the mic to you.
Good evening, President Bittersmith, governing board members, Chancellor Gonzalez, CEC, and guests. I'm honored to present 2 faculty members for emeritus distinction at Mesa Community College. The first one is Miss Brenda Nielsen Morse, who served over 20 years in the faculty in both the business and CIS faculty department. I'm going to ask Dr. Christine Held, department chair, to speak on her behalf. Then we have a second member. We're going to have Dr. Mirsad Khorsandi, who served Maricopa for 26 years, 22 of those years at Mesa Community College in construction, architecture, and CAD. And I'm going to invite Mr. Bryce Bond to share comments about Dr. Khorsandi, his contributions to MCC. So I'm going to have Dr. Held start first.
I have one correction to make. Brenda was with the Maricopa District and MCC for over 30 years. So she's made quite an impact at Mesa Community College. I'm honored to present this distinction to her. She's provided students, the CIS department at Mesa itself, as well as the entire district with unwavering, exemplary dedication and support. She wants me to be done, but I have more to say. You have many accomplishments, and I know I'm going to miss a bunch of them, but you were one of the 6 faculty members in 1999 to recommend the 7 planning directives for the Red Mountain campus. You ensured that the campus was environmentally friendly, easy for student enrollments by instilling a one-stop shop. We really need to keep that going for student enrollment. Your strength in technology led to creating an unprecedented technology hub for the Far East Valley, which when this happened, that was really a Far East Valley. You were able to successfully bridge the gap between the Red Mountain campus and Southern and Dobson campus. And there were a lot of gaps. You have held leadership positions within the CIS Business Department. Brenda was the Assistant CIS Department Chair at Red Mountain for over 15 years. And she always represented the Red Mountain campus professionally. In addition, you've served on a bazillion committees. I'm not going to name them all, but during your time with MCC, I know for sure it was program advisory boards, hiring committees, because she hired me, scheduling committees all the time for Red Mountain, and curriculum meetings, and Brenda facilitated the very first Girls Get IT at Red Mountain. So you were selected by Ron Blood, the vice chancellor at the time, to represent MCCD or the district as one of 20 faculty for the initial Microsoft Faculty Mentor Program. And she's participated in many district-led initiatives, including the Inform program to track OE classes. You have been my mentor and my role model for many, many years. And I just want to thank you. And I can only express the many thousands of students who would love to be here and express their gratitude for her providing them their education. You're supposed to.
It's been great. I've had a wonderful time. I did spend 33 years at Mesa before I retired. Then I came back as a 1 year only in the business department. I really loved teaching. And I was just expressing that I just finished my 48th year of teaching. I started when I was 12. So that anyway, I've had a wonderful time. Angie's here. Thanks.
She's here too. I was on her hiring committee.
So we've all been together. So it's, Red Mountain has been my passion, my love, for many years. I can't tell you what that campus has meant to so many students. And Southern and Dobson, that's the first 13 years I was there, before I went over to Red Mountain. For the first 9 months, I didn't know where the cafeteria was. So, you know, I had to branch out of that department. So I started doing other things, and I have been blessed more than I have been able to give to all my colleagues. So I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh wait, you got the CIS department.
This is quickly. One of the most innovative person you will ever meet is Brenda. A lot of things that have gone through that's been innovative, technology-wise in CIS. I will contribute it to Brenda. And she always pilot and did it first. Thank you, Brenda.
Again, congratulations. It's going to be tough. I'm sure you can live up to it,
It's
though.
gonna be a little rough, except for, I don't know if this is on, there we go. Except for, she just told me that she's coming back to work because she only has 26 years. So she wants to beat the 33 years, so. So this is Dr. Corsandi, and I've been privileged to know her for the last 12 years, as a department chair for the last 9 years. And it's one of those relationships where she was stuck in the construction management, first architects drafting and then construction management. And when I walked in as department chair, she held it all together for many, many years. And it has gone from I would say we had 200 students 12 years ago to well over 900 students on enrollment. So she's held it together for many, many years, and I really appreciate everything she's done, the students and everything else that she's committed time and her energy to the department and to this, to the Maricopa Community College. So I appreciate that. Fun fact, when I first became chair, she set me down, before I even became chair, she set me down in a room and said, now we're going to have conversations of what things should be and what we're going to do. So it was quite interesting. But I wanted to take this time. I'll let her speak in a second, and then I'll give you their piece here, okay? So please.
Welcome, Dr. Crisandi.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Very pleased to be here. I started at Maricopa Community Colleges in 1998 at Glendale College, and I was there for 3 years and transferred to MCC as program director for architecture and construction, where there was no architecture and construction at all. They had only a few drafting classes, and I had to build architecture and construction practically from scratch. I was very pleased to be doing that. I came from Texas A&M, where I taught architecture and CAD classes for 10 years, and I was pleased to be in community colleges because I worked all my life and went to school, and I was pleased to be working with the students who are working and going to school. I sincerely enjoyed my work. I created the 2 program, and then they transferred architecture to SCC only, and we were given only construction program, which has been growing from day one. We never had low enrollment in construction management, and I was lucky to get another master's degree during pandemic myself in engineering management, and I am looking forward to come back to Maricopa in another position. So look for me. Very pleased to be here again. It was a pleasure to be working in Maricopa Community Colleges and with all of you, and looking forward to continue with it. Thank you.
Congratulations to both recipients. Thank you, Dr. Daniel.
Ms. Bittersmith, I have may I ask?
Ms.
a
Sullivan
question?
first.
To both of you women, it appears that you chose non-traditional paths. Did you experience any challenges along the way for you to overcome? Because both of you exemplify opportunities for women in non-traditional trades and practices, education and work that I think need to be celebrated more often. So I'd like to acknowledge that in both of you, and thank you for being the trailblazers I presume you are, and both want to continue to be at some aspect. But I'm just curious, did you run into challenges in those spaces?
Since I created the 2 programs from scratch, I had to come across so many things in development of the curriculum. From creating the prefixes, from creating the courses, and the time it took to run it through the whole system of levels that it has to go and get approved. Some of them very time consuming, but still we were able to make it happen. And it was all with the help of people above us and below. Together, we worked together to get it done. And without it, it wouldn't have happened. It's not, Maricopa Community Colleges is all about working together. And it wouldn't happen without it. Thank you.
I'm not sure we could have said it better, honestly, so thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Dr. Gonzalez, you now have really tough shoes to fill because it's time for your report.
Thank you, President Bittersmith, members of the board. members of CEC, faculty, staff, and guests with us. I'm honored to provide this update. In keeping in line with the presentation that was given today by the students at PV, I'll give you some college-specific data and some points of pride for Paradise Valley. At week 11, PVCC is up 4.4% over last year, and spring enrollment is trending even stronger, up almost 16% from last year at this time. So I hope that they can hold on to most of that between now and the start of the spring semester. PVCC proudly had its highest retention rate last fall at 58%. The enhanced wraparound student support and academic service appears to be making a difference in Pumas continuing their education with us. PV also has worked to create a unique Puma Sprint schedule that delivers coursework for an AJEC in an accelerated format and allows for cohort scheduling. Something new and points of pride for PV, they facilitated, as you learned moments ago, a successful HLC 10-year reaffirmation visit in October. Initial reporting suggests that PV successfully met all criteria. The faculty and staff were actively engaged throughout the process and did a great job representing their college. And congratulations to the many employees and students who actively engaged in this process to represent and successfully showcase the college. We also appreciate the board's engagement and participation during that visit as well. PV was honored by the All-In-Campus Democracy Challenge for its outstanding work in promoting nonpartisan student voting, receiving top awards for Most Improved Voting Rate in an HSI and Most Improved Voting Rate for community colleges in Arizona. Congratulations to the PV Student Life team and campus supporters of civic engagement. Good work, PV, on that. 4 PV fine and performing arts students were chosen to join Andrea Bocelli's backing choir for this December concert, or excuse me, for his December concert at Footprint Arena. Did I say that first name correctly? I said Andrea, but I may be mispronouncing that. This exceptional honor highlights the talent with PV's music program, reflecting the college's strong tradition of musical excellence. 2 PV students were selected for Arizona State University's Community Fellowship at Hayden Library, a highly competitive program funded by the Institute of Museum and Library Services. Both first-generation students will gain hands-on experience in community-driven archives, supporting their aspirations to serve and uplift underrepresented communities. Moving on to strategic goal updates. In alignment with strategic goal 1.1.A, expanding our recruitment pipeline to focus on traditionally underserved students and K-12 populations, the College and High School Revisioning and Task Force hosted a design thinking retreat with approximately 75 district and college leaders. The goal was to help participants understand the current landscape of early college programs, looking at current data and trends in dual enrollment, concurrent enrollment, and other college programs such as ACE and Hoop of Learning. The team leading this work will review the insights gleaned from participants and use it to inform design thinking sessions in the spring, supporting the vision that every high school student in Maricopa County has the opportunity to complete at least 12 college credits before high school graduation. For a system-wide enrollment update, fall 24 headcount is at 100,849 students, which is up 2.4% over this time last fall. Fall 2024 total basic term FTSE is 29,859, which is up 3.7% from last year. And enrollment update for the spring 2025 at 10 weeks before the semester, it is up 11.7% from the spring of 2024. And of course, the goal will be to keep as many of those students before the semester actually starts. So far, FTSE is up 12%. So we're continuing to see this trend where FTSE is outpacing headcount, which suggests that our students are taking more credit hours on average. For a legislative update, with the success of voter-approved expenditure limitation relief, that's the relief right there, right? Our government relations team can focus efforts on high-impact investments for the coming legislative session in alignment with the Maricopa's legislative agenda. And our colleges continue to showcase their work through legislative visits. This month, 4 campus tours were provided to Representative Hendricks at Chandler Gilbert Community College, Senator Bravo at PC in Glendale, and Congressman Stanton's legislative aide at Maricopa, and 2 community outreach events drew legislators to PC's Monster Ball and Glendale's Global Celebration. And finally, in celebrating a new partnership or a workforce update to the board, Governor Hobbs held a press conference at Gateway Community College's Central City campus on November 14th to announce the Future 48 Advanced Manufacturing Semiconductor Accelerator and award of $20 million from the governor's office and Arizona Commerce Authority to Maricopa. That was a great celebration, and President Bittersmith was able to join us and say some words at that, so we appreciate your attendance there. Attending the unveiling of TSMC's Arizona's expanded registered technician apprenticeship program on November 19th. Through this partnership, Estrella Mountain and Rio Salado will help prepare 130 new semiconductor apprentices and trainees in 2025. That unveiling took place alongside with the governor and the mayor of Phoenix. Again, a great opportunity to showcase the great work of our faculty, staff, and our colleges in preparing our much needed workforce in some of these fast growing industries. That concludes my update, President Bittersmith.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gonzalez. Are there any questions for the Chancellor from board members? Yeah, I'm hearing good news from most board members, so positive. Okay, we now are at Citizens Interim, which is an opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board. I do not have any request to speak, and I'm from the back of the room saying no. So understanding that, we will now move on to our consent agenda. All items in this section of the agenda are consent matters unless they were removed from the consent agenda. So do any board members or the Chancellor wish to remove any items from tonight's consent agenda? Seeing none and hearing none, is there a motion then to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Davis. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously, including the student advisory vote. Then let's go on to the non-consent action items. Item number 1 is the approval of memorandum of understanding, updating and revising Article 21.2 interventions, corrective and disciplinary actions for the 2024-2025 residential faculty agreement. We have all read that and talked about it at our work study session. Is there a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding, updating and revising Article 21.2 interventions, corrective and disciplinary actions for the 2024-2025 residential faculty agreement? Is there a motion?
I move that we approve.
Moved by Ms. Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Butler. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? By unanimous vote, including the student advisory vote, the board approves the memorandum of understanding, updating and revising Article 21.2 interventions, corrections and disciplinary actions for the 2024-2025 residential faculty agreement. Item number 2 is approval of the proposed 2025 legislative agenda and the delegation of authority for providing direction or unanticipated legislative items to the board president or designee. Again, this is still a non-consent. We've discussed this. Is there a motion to approve the proposed 2025 legislative agenda and the delegation of authority for providing direction on unanticipated legislative items to the board president or designee?
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Narini, seconded. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Davis. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, by unanimous vote, including the student advisory vote, the proposed 2025 legislative agenda and the delegation of authority is approved. We're moving on now to first read and information items, starting with the employment and separations report from September 21, 2024 through October 18, 2024. Board members, are there any questions? Seeing or hearing none, let's move on to item number 2. Proposition 301, Workforce Development and Training Reports for FY23 and FY24. Again, board members, are there any questions? Ms. Davis.
I have a comment. This is a very extensive report. Thank you for providing this to us. It was fabulous.
Well, I take no credit for it, so let's thank the staff that prepared it. But yes, I'm in agreement. So I see finger pointing to someone that put it. Yes, exactly. Any other questions? If not, let's again move on to monitoring reports. There's one item under the monitoring reports, which is the Budget Analysis Report Fund 1, General Unrestricted Fund for the 4 months ending October 31st, 2024. Board members, any questions on the budget report? Again, seeing none, we will now move on to community linkage. And Ms. Jackson Long, may I start with you?
Yes, so hold on, I had a little list. This month. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Early in this month, I attended the STEM conference in Chicago, Illinois, with another peer of mine from our STEM Scholars Program. It was a very fun conference we had, and we were able to explore a little bit of Chicago and also network a bit and get to expand a bit on the different pathways amongst sciences as well as engineering in particular for us too. It was very eye-opening, a lot of great speakers, and we were able to connect and learn more about the opportunities to pursue higher education, such as PhD and master's programs, as well as REUs. And then recently I attended Mesa Community College Study Abroad Fair. I represented the Gilman Scholars as well and was able to speak with a lot of students, a lot of prospective study abroad students who, had hopes of studying abroad for my program in particular, which is in Fukuoka through Mesa. And it was really great to see so many people and to talk to a lot of students about their plans, as well as for those who come from, low-income backgrounds, there's opportunities even with that financial situation to go out and, explore the world and study different languages and that kind of thing. As well as we had our IELTS retreat student debrief, where the student leaders who had planned for so many months for our intercollegiate student leadership experience, we came back together after our time returning from Prescott, and we just discussed, the goods and the bads, the things we can improve on, and as well as just reflecting on our time in Prescott and, reflecting on the work that we'd put into the time there and how the students enjoyed it and things we could improve on. It was really good time to, look back at it and think and plan ahead for our next time and that kind of thing. It was really great to see the friends I made there as well. And then for Gateway in particular, we recently recorded our NSOAR video recording for new student orientation so that we can have a more up-to-date, look at welcoming students who are coming to Gateway. And it was really fun to shoot the videos with our student leadership group. So that concludes my report.
Great report. You've been busy. Thank you for that. Ms. Butler.
Thank you very much. I am pleased to be a member of the district's Audit and Finance Committee and recently just attended our recent meeting. And I just wanted to say how much I appreciate Kim Granillo and her team providing us with this level of real transparency and opportunity to just really, delve into this information and learn more. So it was a pleasure to be part of that group. Thank you. And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Ms. Davis.
Last week, I attended the East Valley Hispanic Chamber event honoring Dr. Daniel, and it was really a lot of fun. I met some great people there. The venue was amazing. I had never been there before, and so it was a fun event, and I appreciate being invited. And then yesterday, Dr. Narini and I attended the Gina Kranitz Scholarship Lunch at PVCC, which was also wonderful. I loved that it was a small, intimate little venue, and we got to talk. I got to talk to Mr. Kranitz and talk with some students, and it was really a lot of fun. And I'm really glad I got invited to that as well. So congratulations, because you're doing a great job there, Dr. Schwartz. Thank you. And that's my report.
Thank you. Ms. Sullivan.
Good evening, everyone. So busy month, but there's so many things I miss, and I'm really sorry that I do, because I enjoy every moment I have an opportunity to be with all of you in some way. So this is what I did do. I attended the Association of Governing Board meeting in Washington, D.C., was there for 2 days. commiserating with other trustees and regents throughout the United States on the challenges facing higher education and what's unfolding in front of us. So more to come certainly in that regard. When I got back, my opportunity was to tour the mortuary sciences program at Chandler Gilbert Community College. I was invited to accompany our former board member, Lauren Hendricks, on that. And I avoided the cremation room, I'll tell you. They have a room with urns and coffins. And as much as I appreciate the business end of the industry, it was just really not a pleasure to be in that room.
The programs are dying again.
Oh, give me a break. Did you hear what he just said? Yeah, it was a program we're all dying to get in. Okay, grown. Anyway, so that was interesting. And also the opportunity to talk to Mr. Hendricks again about what his interests are as he continues to serve in the legislature. So we're going to keep tabs on him and bring him out to Chandler Gilbert more often to see all the programs he needs to keep funding. The other opportunity I had was to, oh, by the way, that was election day. And I was so excited the next morning that 486 passed. So thank you to all of you for your contributions and support of our efforts. That was worth celebrating. Then I attended with Ms. Butler the Audit and Finance Committee where we received the internal audit report, and I would have to agree with Ms. Butler on the professional presentation and work that's always done by the finance team, regardless of its perspective and challenges. And you make us all proud to be able to have transparent and honest dialogue around what's in front of us in those aspects. So thank you for that. Chaired the PAC committee where we did talk about the legislative agenda. And all I can say is, whoa, Nellie, keep a hold of those reins because it's going to be a great few years. And then I come down to two things that really touched my heart. And I'll start with one. I was invited to offer opening remarks to a phenomenal exhibit that reflects, in my words, opportunities for early childhood developers to see more through the eyes of a child than just the statistics of socioeconomic status or when are they going to read and those types of things. And it really was a very moving opportunity to be in the presence of so many people that can see the soul of a child and recognize their creativity and their curiosity and their joy as they learn. And so I did the best I could to offer some comments, but as I offered them, I kept thinking that that's also what all of you do. It may not be a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old, but when each of you are representing some opportunity to stand for student success and think through program design and other, you also are seeing through the eyes of that person. So thank you for your leadership for that. But that was very moving. And thank you, Dr. Swartz, for inviting me to attend that. And then last, I was able to present to the, with Ms. Falkenberg at the Linda B. Rosenthal mentoring program. And you all know where that touches my heart. So you've given me some wonderful opportunities this November, and I want to express my gratitude to you and about you and wish each and every one of you a very happy Thanksgiving as you move forward. And that's my report.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Ms. Smith.
I don't have a report, just happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Dr. Thor.
Thank you. I have no report other than to thank everyone who contributed to the passage of Proposition 486. What an incredible relief for the Maricopa community colleges. And I also would like to wish all a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Dr. Thor. Dr. Narini.
Thank you. And I want to just thank everyone too for inviting us to all these events, and because it gives us a chance to get out and see the work that's really happening. I mean, we sit up here once a month and you guys are there doing the groundwork. So when we get to the campuses, I think it's really special for us to meet the students and the staff and really see what's going on. I was able to come here to PC and meet with Senator Bravo when he was here. Ms. Davis and I were at the Agua Fria High School District's Leadership Alliance meeting, and so that they could share some of the things that they're doing and how they might want to partner with us. I was able to attend the conferences, the news conferences with the governor at Gateway and downtown to talk about the TSMC program. And then I met with Dr. Lisinski at Scottsdale so that we could convey that guys get girls who get IT. So we were there at the conference and offered some. Yeah. And also with Ms. Davis, I was at the East Valley Hispanic Chamber of Commerce to honor Dr. Daniels and as the first Hispanic president of Mesa Community College. So that was great since it was where I graduated from. I met with the folks at Alianto to just talk about some of the students' concerns after the election with some of the challenges that some of our Latino students may have coming up in the coming years to come up with some brainstorm, some ideas. And I too was at Paradise Valley Paradise Valley today. So for the Gina Kranitz Scholarship luncheon. So that was a lot of fun to meet some of the folks there. And again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Thank you.
I'll let you come back and say happy Thanksgiving in a minute. But thank you, Dr. Narini. I just wanted you to know he has another shirt down there. So next meeting, his entire wardrobe is built up.
Someday you should just bring them all.
4 more years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 4 more years. Yes, exactly. So I want to echo what you've heard from all the board members and the chancellor. Election night was very long. Election morning was very long. I was not going to bed till we had numbers on 486. There were a lot of numbers we didn't have yet on other races, but this one was critical. So my genuine thanks to everyone who participated, and particularly the community leaders who stepped up for us, who really had no direct skin in the game, except they understood how important our services are and our students are and what we do in the community college district. So it could have been a really bad evening for that issue, but it was not, and the numbers were strong. So I want to say congratulations to everyone at the district for all of their help and everybody on the board who participated. I did not get a windshield thing in the back, though. I'm really hurt by that. But there were lots of yard signs and palm cards that came through my household as well as everybody else. And now we no longer have to meet in the street to exchange palm cards and yard signs. So again, congratulations to all of that. As Dr. Gonzalez mentioned, I was honored to join Dr. Narini and Dr. Gonzalez and the governor to talk about the Future 48 announcement, a great program at Gateway. As Ms. Sullivan mentioned, we had an active PAC meeting, which obviously led to a conversation tonight about our legislative agenda. I also want to tell you that several board members have been reappointed to their ACCT committees. I'm the Public Policy Committee. Dr. Narini, I believe you are on Diversity Committee, and Ms. Sullivan, you have lots of committees. At ACCT, I think nominating or governance. Okay, all right. So we will be involved in that activity coming forward. So with that, let me remind you that we have, you want to say happy Thanksgiving?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. We will have our normal agenda review on December 3rd at 4:30 p.m. And on December 10th will be our board meeting at Rio Salado. I want to thank everyone for your attendance tonight. And I too would like to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you that are online and as well in the room. This completes our meeting, and I will adjourn us at 7:44. Meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.